Okay, this is video number 2, looking at my opinions of the PS3 really. In the intervening time between the last video, I've kind of picked up some more games, so I just thought I'd show those. Right then. Okay, the first game I'm going to show you is a game that my good friend Spiffy Rabbit picked up for me because he saw it cheap. So without further ado, there we go. Super Street Fighter 4. Huge fan of this game. Not played the Super version actually, but yeah, Street Fighter 4 was great. I think he's actually bought this so he can kick my ass at it because he's a great kind of like Bison player. And when we went to Retro to Rewind, I think we had quite a lot of fun playing Street Fighter on the Dreamcast. And yeah, if you know Spiffy, you know he plays this quite a lot on the PS3. But I mean, thanks mate for getting for getting this for me cheap. The artwork's fantastic on it. It always is. Unfortunately, not a full colour booklet, but it's still quite nice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on that. Right, the next game I'm going to show you is a game that I played quite a while ago on my friend's PS3. A game that I really liked. Not hugely into my survival horror games, to be honest, but this one, something kind of really cinematic about it that appealed to me. So there we go. Siren Blood Curse. Picked this up for a tenner, which is half the price it is to download, and that's kind of like par for the course on the internet really. I think it's a pretty low print run, just one to watch out for if you're kind of thinking about getting it. But yeah, picked it up for £10. It goes for around that on eBay, so really pleased with that. Okay, and the third and final game I'm going to show you is a biggie. It's a game that I've again played a long time ago on import round at my friend's house. Thought it was absolutely amazing. It's a slasher but with RPG elements. And there we go. Demon Souls. I've heard it's completely and utterly a hardcore game, and it's very tough until you kind of like power up your character. So I'm looking forward to get stuck into that, to be honest. When I finish Killzone 2, I'm going to make a beeline for this. I played Dante's Inferno to death, so I need something new. And as you'll notice, this version here is it's a Black Phantom edition. And there we go. There's the rest of it. Now, unfortunately, when I actually got this home and opened it up, I bought it used. It hasn't got all the extras in it. There we go. It's just got the strategy guide, which again, it's got some nice artwork in it. But I had a quick look on eBay and managed to pick up the bonus CD and the art book for £5, including postage and packaging. So when I get those through, I'll have a complete special edition. Probably cost me kind of like a half the cost price on this one, but again, it's one that's kind of like it maintains quite a high market value, and I'm just happy to have got it. Now the second part of this video, I'll kind of look into my opinions of the PS3. It might seem like I'm sounding a bit harsh towards the end of the video. That's not intentional. I absolutely love the PS3. My 360 hasn't had a look in for the past 2 weeks whilst I've been playing this. Well, 3 weeks now, whilst I've been playing the console. So yeah, if I've come across as sounding a little bit negative, these are just my initial thoughts. I absolutely love the console. So yeah, let's move on to the second part now. Okay, as you'll have seen earlier in the video, you'll notice that I'm really glad about my PS3 purchase. Not to negate anything from the 360, huge 360 fan. I've got a PAL and I've got a Japanese console, absolutely love it. But I'm just going to do a bit of a comparison, just a few of my thoughts, likes and dislikes, that kind of thing really. Right, the first thing that blew me away about the PS3 really was the graphics basically. It just seems to be like everything's on a huge scope. You know, like draw distances are massive. Textures are lovely, just really nice, clear, sharp, you know, crystal clear images really. It's like the 360's good, but kind of like in multi-format games, the 360, you know, kind of excels, but in a lot of the PS3 kind of exclusives, I'm starting to see that, you know, the PS3's just got that raw power behind it, and graphically it looks nicer in some games. So kind of graphically, I do think it's better. It pains me to say it, but I do think it's you know, quite a bit better even maybe. Yeah, Blu-ray. Completely and utterly dismissive about Blu-ray. Love DVD. Bowled over by it. But yeah, got a few Blu-ray films. Played them this weekend. Bloody hell. Just the amount of detail that you know that's in there in the films basically that you miss with DVD being compressed. It's like the look in comparison look a little bit crude. Does DVD in comparison to Blu-ray HD images? Yeah, really surprised by that, to be honest. Kind of made me want to buy films again. So yeah, again, not a huge selling point for me when it came to the PS3, but it became one after I'd got one. Another minor thing here, just the quietness of the console. Doesn't seem to be, you know, get really warm. Doesn't rumble away like my 360 does. Now I know the 360 Slim's going to address those issues. Well, does address those issues. But for me, that was a bit of a shocker, just to see it quietly, kind of just you know, just purring away there. When it comes to the controller, I like the D-pad. You know, much more fighting game friendly. You know, on that respect, slays the 360 pad completely, because the 360 pad's good for first-person shooters. The D-pad, and that's it really. Another great advantage to being a late adopter of the console is the fact that I've been able to pick up quite of the early exclusive games that I wanted very cheaply. Yeah, I mean, as you'll have seen from the previous section in this video, it's not cost me very much to get those games that I wanted. And there's maybe one or two that I still need to get, but another great incentive for me to carry on the console. Yeah, I mean, my next kind of point is just the fact that the console seems to be really sturdy, really solidly built. It's got a huge hard drive, which I'm sure that that Microsoft will kind of counteract. But for the PS3, having that huge hard drive means that issues I'm going to talk about later will be less of an issue. I do like the way that it looks. You know what I mean, it looks really nice. Sat in front of me, my Sony Bravia TV as well. It's just a neat console. It really is. I like the fact it's wireless out of the box as well. Yeah, you know, less stuff to buy, less to fanny around with, to be honest, because that's one of the things that annoyed me about the 360 was, you know, when you got your 360, you had to fork out for a wireless set. I believe the new Slim's got a wireless set. You know, it's wireless enabled, you know, out of the box, whereas I had to buy a separate attachment that wasn't cheap for just a bloody, you know, wireless just a wireless add-on. So I suppose now it's time for the other side of the coin, things that I'm not so keen on. Yeah, I mean, no offence to anyone, but this is what my early thoughts. Even though I like the PlayStation controller, it's starting to feel a bit aged, to be honest. because the majority, it feels like, you know, you've got one kind of design and you're just bolting stuff onto the top of it, rather than thinking about maybe a completely new view on your controller. I mean, you look at Nintendo and look how they innovate every single time they try something new. Whereas Sony, it feels like the motion aspect of it's kind of just bolted on. The trigger buttons on the top, the ones that are actually like, you know, they're actually like triggering, the L2 and the R2, don't feel right to me. They really don't. I mean, and every first-person shooter that I've used doesn't seem to use them as triggers. So I think design-wise, I think the 360 pad just completely and utterly pisses all over it. I mean, as I said, admittedly the PS3 pad's got, you know, it's got a nice D-pad, but apparently, I mean, the new controller for the 360 is going to kind of have a better D-pad. So, you know, and then you've got to wonder about the you know, the rechargeable aspect to it. Presumably, there's a rechargeable battery in there. At some point, you'll have to be replaced or you buy a new controller. With the 360, you don't have that problem. And I know with the PS3 controller, you can replace that battery pack. But it sounds like a bit, you know, complicated process. Not a case of just pulling out the you know, the battery pack and putting a new one in. Weird button mapping as well. In some games I've noticed there seems to be quite, you know, the buttons don't seem to be mapped out right. Killzone 2, prime example of a game that's great, but can't seem to find a control method that works properly. I've noticed on a couple of games as well. I mean, that's down to the developers, not down to the console itself, I suppose. Operating system, not as slick as the 360. It's not as quick to access stuff, I don't think. Constant downloads, another bugbear as well. I can't understand why it takes so long to download something, so long to get it to, you know, to run. Putting games in and just the, you know, great big update that they need to get them to fucking work. Running games off hard drive, I'm not sure the console does that. I can't see how it would do. I'm probably wrong. If you can run games off the console, yeah, let us know. The PSN store's shit. Nowhere near as many games. It's just clunky. I know it's free, and you play for your Microsoft Premium service, but it's worth every penny. Has to be said. But you know, great start. Huge potential here for console. Absolutely love it. Should have done it years ago. And that's my feeling. I can live with both consoles. They both do different things very well. Thanks for watching.